What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be discussing ways to lose weight quickly, and I'm going to keep this video very short. So your body is actually capable of losing a lot of body weight very quickly. In general, it's not good to lose more than 2 pounds each week because then you risk losing muscle mass. If you do choose to lose more than 2 pounds each week, you need to keep your protein quite high. The first thing I'm going to discuss is water intake. Water is definitely important, and you should be drinking even more water when you're trying to lose weight. At a minimum, shoot for 64 fluid ounces, which is 8 cups of water each day, but you could be going as high as a gallon of water each day, which is 16 ounces of water. Drinking close to a gallon each day promotes good health, and it will also flush out all those toxins and make sure that you're not looking bloated when you're losing the extra weight. Moving on, I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting. I talk about this all the time. Although fasting is not the most sustainable thing, it's one of the best ways to lose weight, and it's very easy to implement. It usually requires no change to your activity level. Intermittent fasting implies that you're not eating for an extended period throughout the day. The idea is that it creates a caloric deficit because you're eating all your calories within a small time frame. There are several types of intermittent fasting, but you will lose weight the fastest with the plan where you're eating the least. You can check out a 10-minute long video, Beginner's Guide to Intermittent Fasting, that I published recently if you want more information about this, guys. The next thing I'm going to talk about are crash diet plans, and you've probably heard of those crash diets where you can lose 10 pounds in a short period of time. And let me tell you guys, I hate these for the most part because they're mostly straight scams. But there are some good ones out there, like the military diet or the 3-week diet, where you actually will lose the weight. They are just not sustainable whatsoever. So tread carefully with these. If I were you, I would avoid them whenever possible, but just know that some of them out there do work and they are effective for a short period of time. Moving on, we have resistance training or training with weights. This is a no-brainer, guys. If you don't already, start incorporating some resistance training into your weekly routine. It will only further your caloric deficit and help you lose more weight. So this implies training with weights or bands with a focus on building strength and muscle mass. Not only are you burning calories when you partake in weight training, but you are also building muscle mass, which can lead to a pleasing physique, and muscle mass, of course, is the only thing that truly speeds up your metabolism. If you're not a fan of weight training, or you just want to take it a step further, can't forget about cardio, guys. Incorporate some cardio, 3 to 4 sessions a week, aiming to burn between 200 to 300 calories, and you will be surprised at how the fat just melts off of you. One thing I like to do is incline walking on a treadmill. Each session, if you go for about 30 minutes with an incline of 7 to 14% and a speed of 2.4 to 3.5 miles an hour, will burn between 200 to 300 calories, and the results will definitely shock you. The last two things I'm going to talk about are sort of nitty-gritty aspects of your nutrition that do not really need the most focus, but they could help. They're almost like bonus points. So the first thing are natural diuretics. Now, if you follow bodybuilding or professional sports where you have to cut weight, for example, MMA or boxing, diuretics are used fairly often to cut those last pounds before a contest or a show or whatever you're doing. Now, the difference is these guys are on prescription drugs, and what I'm going to be discussing right now are known as natural diuretics. So diuretics help you lose weight rapidly because they pull all the water out and pretty much just make you look dry. So get yourself some vitamin B6 and lemon. If you consume them consistently for a few days before you want to look your best, these natural diuretics will help you quickly dry out and make you look leaner. Now, once again, should this be your priority? Probably not. You should be focusing on setting up the caloric deficit and switching your nutrition plan more than anything. But it's just something extra, towards the end of your weight loss journey. If you want to really, really look good, natural diuretics might be able to help you out. The last thing I'm going to discuss is your carb and fat intake. So carbs generally make you swell up, but they're not bad. That's a huge misconception in nutrition, is that carbohydrates are bad for you because you do need a balanced diet. But if you do want to look good and you're losing weight, you have to know how to gauge your carb intake. This is more so for people who are training with their physiques in mind, but if you really want to look your best for an event, photo shoot, whatever you have it, then you should keep your carb intake fairly low for about 2 weeks before the day. A few days before you want to look amazing, increase your carb intake, but make sure the carbs are coming from whole foods like vegetables and rice. This is known as carbing up, and it's going to make your muscles just swell, and of course you're going to have no fat, so you're going to look great. Fats obviously contribute to the belly fat that you're hanging on to. You're going to need some fats to maintain a healthy diet, but don't go overboard. Excess saturated fats and trans fats positively correlate to stubborn belly fat, so aim for 25 to 40 grams of fat each day. As a general rule of thumb, if you're not currently tracking your macronutrients and are on a set plan. Now guys, I'm trying to keep this video short. I could go on and talk about the importance of electrolytes like sodium and potassium intake, but these components are more crucial that I mentioned in this video. I have no doubt that you can lose 10 to 15 pounds within a month by following all of this advice to the T. Intermittent fasting paired with exercise, and then of course just focusing on your nutrition, eating clean whole foods and setting up that caloric deficit are going to be the most important things. Remember that weight loss is 80% nutrition, 20% exercise, and other lifestyle variables, so just keep that in mind. The tips provided in this video are not some sort of magic cure to lose weight. They are just tips that are meant to further increase your caloric deficit, assuming that your nutrition is already on point. There's no doubt in my mind that if your nutrition's on point and you follow all the tips in this video guide, you will definitely lose the weight and you will lose it very fast. But I must stress that you should not try to lose more than 2 pounds per week, because at this point you're risking losing muscle mass. Keep your diet clean, keep your protein intake high, continue to exercise, and you will be shocked with the results after a few months of being consistent on this plan. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, stay well, and of course stay tuned for more uploads.